All right, guys, it's been a long time since an update. This is not a good update. This is a bad one. Let me just give you a little kind of overview of what's been happening. I finished my hot tub, or at least the main parts of it, and I enjoyed it all fall and all winter. I didn't take a lot of videos because it didn't look great because it was covered with leaves and stuff, and I just didn't get it cleaned well before the snow flew. But enjoyed it all winter. Had a little bit of a seeping leak issue that I was trying to stay on top of, and the last time I drained the water to clean it and just give it a good deep cleaning, and I found some hairline cracks in the tub. Obviously bad news, right? So I got a hold of Gene with custombuiltspas.com, and I told him, I was like, man, I've got hairline cracks, what do I do? And he gave me some recommendations what to do. So that's what I'm doing today. It sounds really bad, but this is the reason why I built my own tub, is because I wanted to be able to fix something that broke instead of just rely on another company to come and fix it, or just have no idea what to do. So let me talk you through what I'm doing. So here I am inside the tub. I'll give you kind of a look around. I have right now covered the tile with plastic and tape. And what I've done is the hairline cracks are from settling. So you see these cracks now, it's not as bad as it looks, really. Those were just hairline cracks. And I used an oscillating tool and dug those out, and used a little bit of like a grout cleaner or whatever, kind of just scraped those out to a depth of about 1/8 of an inch. So the cracks weren't that bad, but I kind of made them worse. I went all the way around and looked. The reason why this happened is because I did not compact my soil good enough prior to laying down the foundation. At least that's the strong suspicion, is I just didn't do a good enough job compacting. Shame on me, but lesson learned. So I have cracks, hairline cracks on the inside, and I also have some cracks on the outside of the block. That's going to be a little more troublesome, although pretty easy. So my goal right now is, what I have to do is I have to go and dig out all these hairline cracks to a depth of about 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to take an oscillating sander, and I'm going to sand all of the epoxy paint off, which is why I've covered things with plastic. I just want to protect the tile best I can. I'm gonna sand it all off with a 36 grit orbital sander. Then I'm going to take these cracks, and I'm gonna patch them in with some hydraulic cement. Just kind of an easy patch, push them in, sand over everything again, and I'm back at it again with priming and painting. So again, my fault. Had I done what I was supposed to do from the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. But it did. It happened, and we're just dealing with it. So anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on the status of this, and hopefully it's not going to take too long to get this fixed and back up and running. My other goal is actually, I'm going to stop this video so that I can flip it around, and then I'll talk to you about what I'm going to do after this. Okay, back again. So you can see kind of the finished, I say finished, it's not obviously finished, it's back to the drawing board. But one of the reasons why I didn't take videos is because I wasn't done with the exterior. And I ran into some kind of things that I'm going to be redoing also, and I'm going to talk you through that as well, because that's going to be part of the project that I'm working on today. So the decking that I have out here, I left too big of a gap, and what happened is I get just a lot of debris that gets in there. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be pulling all of that decking off and reducing that gap, kind of adding another decking board here so that there's a lot smaller of a gap. Again, I was just trying to make it work with what I had. Probably not a good idea. The other thing is, underneath this decking, I have just some black plastic covering and some whatever. It's just not as waterproof as I want. So I'm going to be pulling the decking off, and while I'm there, going to get it cleaned up, I'm going to add some rain and ice shield to really help waterproof that. Also, what I've been doing is, sorry, excuse the mess. Just right over here, I have like a step ladder that I've been stepping up on here. That was never the plan. That was just temporary. But everything froze on me before I could get a chance to build what I wanted to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be building a deck all along here, along the backside in this back corner, with steps that come up into here, make it just a little more official. So that's kind of the project I'm gonna be starting this weekend, and I'll just kind of keep you updated with the status of how that goes. All right. Okay, got it done. You can hardly see. I had to zoom in pretty close. You still might not be able to see, but I went with a 36 grit orbital sander and sanded all that stuff off. I'm going to read the directions of that Poxo Prime product to see if I need to clean it the surface. I probably will with some TSP or something. But real quick, let's talk about using the right tool for the right job, and what problems it could lead to if you don't. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. This is something that would not have been a problem had I done it right from the beginning. All of the great fittings that fit over your filter suction lines and your filter or your return lines and all that stuff. I have 6 right around the perimeter. So what you do is you put the grate on, you drill 4 holes for the 4 screws that go over in the corner of those grate fittings, and then you use little anchors and you put some stainless steel bolts in there. What I did at first, I did not use the right tool for the right job, so I used a regular drill. And I don't know if you've ever tried to drill into concrete. That drill doesn't work. So the problem that I had is that it shook around so much, and I spent so much time doing it, that the holes ended up being bigger than they needed to be. I put the anchors in there. They didn't fit really well. When I very first attached all of these, it leaked like a sieve. It was pretty bad. So I drained it. This is initially, right? This is the first time I did this. I drained it. I filled all of the holes back up with concrete. And I kind of patched them with some, epoxy or whatever. And I actually used a hammer drill and got the right sizes. When you put the little anchor in, you need to fill it full of caulking and then let it dry so that when you put the bolts in, it acts as a kind of a gasket. But I didn't do that either. I put the caulking in, put the deal in, put the bolt in, still leaked. So I had to try it again. Third time around, I did it right. I got the caulking in there. Everything worked great. Several months later, I noticed that my bolts were starting to rust. Important to note, please use stainless steel bolts, not stainless steel coated bolts. Had to drain it all again and change them out with the stainless steel bolts. So yeah, all of that has really just left kind of a mess over here. What's good about what I'm doing now is I'm going to be sanding over everything, putting the epoxy paint over it, and I kind of get a fresh start and making those look right for once. But I have been chasing all 6 of those from the beginning of this project. Had I used stainless steel bolts and had I used a hammer drill from the very beginning, and had I let the caulk set prior to putting those in there, none of this would have been an issue. I would have saved myself from draining the tub 3 different times. So use the right tool for the right job, use the right materials, and you should be good. Okay, tip of the day. In working with concrete, I will tell you one thing that I have learned. If you're using a fast setting product, such as I'm using here, which is some hydraulic cement. I'm working with a leak stopper. It's hydraulic cement by Sackcrete. It says, here's what it says on the box. It says, don't mix any more than you can use in 90 seconds. Well, let me tell you, don't mix any more than you can use in 15 seconds or 20 seconds. I mean, you whip that stuff up and you put it on and it's gone quick. So what I like to do is I just grab a bunch of bowls, little paper bowls, mix up a tiny little batch, put a little bit on, get it where you want it, and then it sets up, mix up another little batch. I am done with the interior. It only took me literally just a couple minutes just to run through and patch all those cracks. But I will tell you, I used what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7 different batches to do that, just a little bit at a time. I will also tell you, please wear rubber gloves. It says right on the thing, don't get it on your skin, it'll cause severe burns. I can tell you from experience, not from this time, but from before, it will burn you. So don't get it, don't wear, let's see. So here's some gloves I wore before when I was doing this project initially, thinking, oh, those are great. And my hands were like immersed in concrete, just regular concrete, not quick setting. And I will tell you, I got burned bad. I lost a lot of skin on my hands. So don't do it. Just use the safety stuff. You're not going to hear me harping on safety a lot. But I'll tell you a couple different things. One, working with concrete when you're doing it, if it splashes up in your eye, it's a tough deal. Wear safety glasses. And then for this time, when I used the orbital sander to sand off the epoxy paint, I actually used a painting respirator. It's the first time I've actually used one in my life, and that's after working drywall for 11 years. So do keep yourself safe, especially with some of this really caustic stuff, and you'll appreciate it. That's my tip of the day.